The Oakland A's have traveled out to Cleveland here to face the Guardians to start off this video. Here you can see the two record shifts posts, All-Star break, trade deadline. Here you'll see their starter on the day is Quantrill, I don't know. And you'll see our starting lineup against righties. Not much has changed for the lineup today. Maybe the order has, but the same lineup as we were running last time. We'll stay in the bottom or top of the first here with one down already. It's Dansby Swanson, and he looks at a strike three on a curveball on the outside to make it two down. And then with two outs, Austin Meadows would take a fly ball deep to center field, but it'd be out number 3. While on the mound for the A's today, it is Gunnar Hoagland, a guy we have not looked at too much this year. He's having a pretty good 4th or 5th starter year for us. Not much though. As you can see, the Guardians still line up. You'll see guys like Rhys Hoskins, and it looks like that's actually the only new guy that I can actually think of here. But not much has changed for this Guardians team. See one out for them. He'll get their first hit of the day on a weak base hit into left field. And that would have a runner at first. Next batter up would be Jose Ramirez, and he'll rip one to the gap, which will move the runner from first to third. Jose will move up to second and will be a 1-out double, putting 2 runners in scoring position here for the next batter, Franmil Reyes. He checks his swing but gets called swinging for strike 3. And then the next batter is Josh Naylor, who has a chance to get a weak ground ball base hit, but Lawrence Butler makes a great diving stop there for out number 3. And we'll head now to the new inning. Here we go to the top of the second with a runner on. After a Lawrence Butler base hit, it's Santander drawing a walk. Next batter up is Soderstrom, and he'll strike out, which then brings up Isan Diaz here in a 2-1 1-out count. He'll dribble one in the left field for a base knock. Butler will round third, and he'll head home. And the Athletics will strike first as they go up 1-0 here in the second off of Isan Diaz RBI single. But that would be all for the inning, as Hunter Bishop with 2 outs will pop up a pitch damn near down the middle for out number 3. We now go to the bottom of the third here, where it's Oscar Mercado now in a 2-1 count with nobody down, and he pops up the third pitch of the at-bat, and Hoagland looks to work 3 good innings to start as he gets 1 out there. Miles Straw would then be the next batter, and he'll get a weak base hit into center field. He would go on to steal second base after getting on first base, so with him at second, it is now Ahmed Rosario, and he bloops one in the left field for a base knock. Miles Straw did not move off contact, not expecting it to land, so it'll be runners at the corner with 1 out. That would bring up Jose Ramirez in a 2-2. He'll dribble one to Butler, who can't field it cleanly. If he could have, it was most likely an inning-ending double play. But since it wasn't, it will be an RBI, fielder's choice or sacrifice, whatever they call it. And then 3-2, it's Franmil Reyes with a runner at second, and he drills one to the wall. And that would be an easy RBI double for the Franimal, as the Guardians will now go up 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. We'll jump over now to the top half of the 5th, as nothing really happened until Hunter Bishop gets a pitch that he likes, and he clobbers one into right field. A solo shot for Hunter Bishop as he ties the game here at 2. That would be Bishop's, if I look right now. That would be his home run number 5, I believe. 4 it is, on a 415-foot blast. They'll go to Gavin Williams after, or the next inning here. And in the top of the 6th, he would get a good first inning as Soderstrom pops up with 2 down. And no run score here in the 6th. We'll now go to the next inning, which is the bottom of the 6th, 2-on, 2-out for Gunnar Hoagland. And he's able to work out of the inning without another pitcher. So he works 6 semi-strong innings here. We now go to the later half, bottom of the 7th or 8th, where Jose Alvarado comes in to get some innings pitched, and he works a great 7th inning to keep the score at 2. And then we'll head on to the next, or top of the 8th. It is Lawrence Butler here, and he drills one to left center field with 2 outs, and he'll get an easy stand-up double with 2 outs, trying to get that run in, or that run across. Next batter would be, I believe, Anthony Santander. And instead of pitching to him, they give him the intentional pass, as they'll let him take first base while it's open. And so now with 2 runners on and 2 outs, that would bring up Tyler Soderstrom here. And in a 2-2 count, he delivers with a weak base hit into right field. Lawrence Butler rounding third. He'll get home safely on the bad throw in from Franimal. And it is now a 3-2 Athletics lead as we now go to Eniel De Los Santos, the new closer here in Oakland. Trying to get his first save since the trade deadline, I believe. And he will not get that as he allows a solo shot to Rhys Hoskins, who that ball just kept carrying. And he ties the game at 3 here at the bottom of the 9th on his 18th homer of the year. Later that inning, it'll be Bo Naylor who drills one in the right center field, and Santander is not fast enough to get there. And that'll be an easy Bo Naylor double. And now with him not too far away, with nobody out, they'll get 1 out, and then Oscar Mercado will get a line drive base hit in the left, easily scoring Bo, and the Guardians will walk this one off. 4-3 victory while going into the 9th down 1. See the celebration here for the Guardians as Eniel De Los Santos gets the blown save and the loss. Logan Allen gets the win while Rhys Hoskins wins player of the game. See, notable players for us were Lawrence Butler and Hunter Bishop, while Isan Diaz also got an RBI. For the Guardians, it was Hoskins, Miles Straw, Friendmel Reyes, and Ahmed Rosario. The Guardians ended up with 12 hits this game, while we only had 7. No errors occurred. We had a few different times throughout the game where Butler had a tough time, but that was about it. That would bring us to September, where we would call up 2 people. Max Muncy, as you saw here, he gets to call up. And you see right here, Michael McGreevy, he slides into the starting pitching spot. And now the Athletics, after the September call-ups, will head on to Chicago to face the White Sox. And it is the debut game for Michael McGreevy. You'll see his AAA stats, I believe they show, or AA, one or the other. But he makes his first career MLB start, the former, I believe, Cardinals prospect that we traded for a few seasons ago. He was having a pretty good year. And on the other side, it will be Drew Smiley. And the game starts off with Bo Karlik at the top of the first, laying down a beautiful bunt down the third base line. Tried to make a barehand play there, but they just couldn't do that. It would be a leadoff bunt/hit for Bo Karlik. No stolen base attempt here, as it would be another base hit right after him by Dansby Swanson, which puts 2 on and nobody out to start the game. Austin Meadows comes up now, and he will pop up a field or an infield fly rule for out number 1. And after that, you will see our lineup that we're rolling against lefties. Big change was Shea Langeliers is now batting cleanup in this spot. Soderstrom batting 5th. You'll see Max Muncy's at the bottom batting 8th, with Gabriel Maciel batting 9th. We now go to Shea Langeliers, who gets a weak dribbler down between short and third. It will be an RBI single as Oakland goes up 1-0 in this game as well. Next batter up will be Tyler Soderstrom, who's been doing really well against lefty-lefty this year, and he continues doing that as he rips one to the gap in right center field. A 2-run double for him here as Langeliers will chug his way home. Soderstrom would get thrown out at third, trying to advance it to 2 outs, but not after the 2-run double. And then later in the inning, Lawrence Butler would get strike 3 on an inside pitch, and that would be the end of the first for Drew Smiley. We now go on to Michael McGreevy's first pitching inning as he starts off 3-2 to Leury Garcia. I can never say his name correctly first try. He'll get a weak base hit into center field to start off the inning. I believe it's the next batter or a few batters later. I'm not sure. Next batter, and it's a fastball over the top. It could have been a slam, but it was not. It'd be out number 1 here, stranding the runner at first. And you'll see the White Sox lineup here. I can't really see it from how far back I am, but I know Eloy Jimenez and Jose Abreu are the best 2 bats on their team. Now brings up Yasmani Grandal in a 2-out walk here to advance 1 run to the second. It will bring up Gavin Sheet, and he would look at strike 3. Questionable call there, but that would be Michael McGreevy's first strikeout, and it would be the end of the inning. We now go to the top of the second, where it's Gabriel Maciel, who was in the MLB since the start of the year. He just has not played much because he struggled to start. He comes in today just to play for someone who was tired, who I can't remember at the moment, and he gets a leadoff, or I guess a one-out triple. And then next batter would be Bo Karlik, who would ground out to first base, but bring home Maciel. And it would be 4-0 Oakland here at the top of the second. We now go over to the bottom half of the second, where it's Jose Abreu now facing Michael McGreevy, and he rips one down the right field line. It will be an easy two-bagger for Jose Abreu, as still at his old age, he is probably the best bat on the White Sox here. But McGreevy would settle in a little more, as he would then strike out the next two batters in A.J. Pollock here for strikeout number 2, and then strikeout number 3 on Rami Gonzalez here. Same pitch, just more inside. That would bring up Jorge Mateo trying to get out of the inning, and he hangs a pitch over the zone, and Jorge Mateo would not miss it, and the White Sox split the lead down to 2. They cut it right in half on Mateo's 10th homer of the year. But that would do it all for that inning. We jump now to the 4th just to check on Max Muncy, who is 0 for 1 on the day, and he would proceed to go 0 for 2. He did not have a great debut. I don't know if he even got a hit in it. But next batter up with 2 outs would be Gabriel Maciel, and he drills one to the left field line for an easy double. Already has half the cycle completed here after not playing for months. Next batter up would be Bo Karlik once again, and Bo Karlik would drill one deep to right field. The contact speedy man has knocked his 5th homer out of the park here. It is now 6-2 Oakland on Bo Karlik, hitting a 430-foot bomb. That would be the end of this inning, as Dansby Swanson would eventually strike out to end the 4th. We now jump to the bottom of the 4th, where it's Jose Abreu now, and he gets a hanging pitch, and he drills it in the left field, and that ball is gone. 6-3 Oakland leads now on Abreu's 28th homer of the year, and that would basically be the score for most of the game. You see McGreevy here, he'll get another strikeout on A.J. Pollock here. You check in, I can see, I think 5th strikeout, and then he pays Gonzalez again for out number 2. He'd strike him out for his 6th strikeout. But Oakland kept the 6-3 lead most of the game. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, it's an easy double play. This one's Gunnar Hoagland in the game now, who relieved for McGreevy in the 4th or 5th inning. He gets the double play to end that inning. We then call upon Jack Weisenberger, I guess, and he would work a solid 7th inning, keeping the score 6-3 on this beautiful throw from Shea Langeliers behind the plate. We then jump to the 8th inning, where it's Jose Alvarado. He comes in to get the hold as our setup man, and he does just that. He ends the 8th inning. We do not score another run, so this is just pitching the rest of the way. We call upon Brusdar Gatterall, our, I guess, big acquisition at the deadline, and he would proceed to give Jose Abreu a 3rd extra base hit this game, as he drills his 2nd homer to left center field, and it would be 6-4. But that would be the end of the game, as eventually we would call upon Eniel De Los Santos here, and he was in trouble, but he eventually got out of it. And Oakland will win the game 6-4 here in Chicago in Michael McGreevy's debut. The win actually goes to, I believe, Gunnar Hoagland instead of McGreevy, and the loss will still go to Drew Smyly. Player of the game honors goes to Bo Karlik, who had that amazing home run. You see Gabriel Maciel had a triple and a double. Langeliers went 2 for 3. Jose Abreu was easily the only notable guy on the White Sox. And that would do it for this episode, a much shorter one than the ones I usually have. But there's 2 very, I guess, semi-big games. But guys, thank you all for watching this episode of the Oakland A's franchise. Hopefully sooner rather than later we can end this season and get on to the next one. But until next time, guys, I will talk to you all later.